Jimmy Kimmel is facing calls to resign or be fired for these disgusting and vile comments that he made during one of his live shows about Charlie Kirk. There's something significantly wrong with the woke left, the radical woke brain rot left, as we are finding out. There's a couple clips that I do want to take a look at, with obviously Jimmy Kimmel's clip being the center focus of this, but just take a look at this, where this reporter here from CNN is in complete denial that there was carvings into the bullet casings that had anything to do with trans ideology.
Yeah, as Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General, just said, right now they don't have any evidence of an organization. Obviously, they're still looking into this. But on the bullet casings, I don't remember there being a transgender one on there. I remember him saying there was one that said, if you can read this, you're gay. It was referencing internet memes. But on what you just said there about investigating,
there is. Hold on a second, Caitlin. There is a transgender
there is funding.
one. Hold on, Caitlin. Caitlin, there is a transgender. There's a reference to. Do you see my bulge, which is, I'm told, is an online meme for transgenderism? And Director Patel testified that the murderer here was living with his romantic partner, who was a transgender man transitioning to being a woman. And
just in complete denial of it, right? They'll never admit that that's anything bad. They'll never admit that that ideology, that the radicalization of, people that go into the whole transgender rabbit hole and think that that's all legitimate and all that stuff. They just deny it, man, in plain sight, right in front of us. Like, are you stupid? That's literally a reference to transgenderism ideologies. And this level of brain rot is everywhere on the left, and it's going to get this guy fired.
He had some new lows over the weekend, with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. Yeah,
see, you think that he's going to say the right thing and say that this was a good thing to do, that we were going to wave the flags, but no, he takes it in the direction where you just suspect he would.
But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yeah. So obviously they're trying to move on from Charlie Kirk being in the center of the news cycle. It was probably asked by his wife for them to just, not keep talking about it all the time in the news or answer questions from the media. And watch what he says.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. There's demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow, man. You can't even write this level of stupidity. Like, this is genuinely coming from him. These aren't rehearsed lines. This is truly how he feels about this situation. It's just so vile. It's so disgusting. And it's going to get him fired. This clip is blowing up everywhere online right now. My goodness. And it's just everywhere in the media. People that just turn on the media. The left is programming a bunch of libtards, right? Everywhere. Look at what happened on CNN in talks of transgenderism.
I think there are a lot of families out there who don't believe boys should play girls' sports.
They're not boys. I'm not going to listen to transphobia at this table. I am not going to listen to you call a trans girl a boy.
Are you going to allow me to finish my explanation?
When you use a word that's a slur, I'm going to interrupt. That's not how it is. They're not boys. They're not boys. They're not playing girls' softball. I'm not going to sit there and listen to that.
Let's reset for a second, because, look, this is a really heated issue, right? And Sharmichael, I know you. I know that you understand that people have different views on this. I think out of respect for Jay, let's try to talk about this in a way that is respectful.
Okay, so
I demand you to agree with all these, the radical pronouns that we're making up and all of this stuff. I demand you to fall to my level of delusion and admit that my fetish and that my outlooks on life needs to be your reality, right? Is that kind of what I'm getting from this here?
Let me rephrase this since I'm being targeted here.
I don't. No, it's okay. You are not being
but
targeted.
I am. But it's okay.
I'm specifically saying that I know that you are not intending to be transphobic.
He should know that I'm not. But he wants to sit here and bloviate.
But I want you to.
Using a phrase I want to give you an opportunity.
So the way regular people interpret it,
that's not regular people. That's not regular people. There's no consensus that these are actually boys. This whole thing about trans girls is a canard. We're talking about a tiny sliver of the population.
That may be the
and
case,
we're using
but my point in terms of its effectiveness.
Just get to your point.
My point in terms of its effectiveness. Regular people with children look at these things and they say, you know what, this is a bit too far. I do not agree with this. I don't like this. I think Democrats are going way too much to the left on social issues. They're uncomfortable with it. A lot of people believe that. A lot of families believe that. You may disagree with that reality, but that's why Republicans kept running those ads over and over.
No, it's not with that reality. It's the reality. Like this is what's happening is people are just so fed up with the left because they've gone insane with their values, with their views on things. You can't just collapse an entire, world view and impose it on other people because of your feelings, right? This is the problem. Look at this person here with the friggin' Harry Potter glasses. Like they're just angry, just transphobic, like foaming at the mouth.
And over again because they saw the metrics suggested that they were working.
In those ads over and over again and using rhetoric like you just used, saying this is boys playing girls sports. First of all, we're talking about 5 people in the entire country. We're talking about trans girls being allowed to play with the people who are in their gender. And if you don't believe, you don't have to listen to me. Listen to the American Medical Association, the American Psychological Association.
The American Medical Association.
This is not about the
guys.
This is about trying.
Yeah, this is what's wrong with the world right now. This is what's wrong with America. These left-wing ideologies, they really need to go, right? Like this is pissing so many people off. I've actually decided with my wife that we're going to start to homeschool our kids once we reach that age. We still have a little bit of time to figure that one out, but we're going to homeschool our kids because we don't want them going into the education system with being exposed to this stuff. Like it's just not okay. People are fed up. Right. They had their maximum run. And now we need to socially just stand up and say, I'm just not going to tolerate this type of rhetoric anymore. After the assassination of Charlie Kirk, I've realized that I've been a little too easy on this mentality. I've just kind of let it happen. I talk a little bit of shit here and there. I don't ever say anything in person. Right. I just kind of socially, I guess, submit. But that's done. I'm out of fucks to give. I'm done with this stuff. This is ridiculous. Like and subscribe for more.